Marketing. Marketing is, well, it's not my least favorite thing. I don't believe in marketing, and the problem with that is I'm conflicted. I know it works, I know you have to do it, I just don't like it, and I do not understand why we can't educate people well enough to not fall for those silly things. Like, we call it BOGO today, buy one, get one free. Do you get one free? Really? No, you pay for two, you get two. It's just a sign. It says buy one, get one free. If you got a free one, that would mean that you could buy one for less. No, you couldn't buy one for less. Never mind. Anyway, you don't get one for free. Businesses have to do what? Yeah, can you make a profit selling one free? My fireworks stand, one year, the competition across the street had a sign up, buy one, get 5 free. That's a deal. Oh my gosh, how do you do that? So I wandered over there sometime when I was really busy, checked out what they had, talked to them, introduced myself. It was their first time, they'd never done it before, answered some of their questions, and I said, I'm across the street, if you need any help, just holler, I'll go over there. And I knew it was going to be a painful first few days getting started because you could see cars coming down the street. And they're driving down the street and they go, there's Jim. Hey, what is this? And that car just and pulled in there for the 5 free ones. And people bought stuff and left. Finally, one of my regulars came by and he went over there. He said, you been over there yet, Jim? I said, oh yeah. He said, you know they're selling them buy one, get one for 5 free? And I said, yeah. And you can buy those. I'm okay with that. He said, yeah, but you sell them for less. I said, well, there's that. I didn't give you any free ones, and I'll make up the numbers, but they had buy one, get 5 free, $1.20, and I was selling mine for $1.75. Buy one, get 5 free for $1.75. I was selling mine for 30 cents a piece. Do you want to get 5 free ones, or would you rather just pay 25 cents less? 5 of them at 30 cents a piece is $1.50. 5 free ones is $1.75. 6 of them for 30 cents, $1.80. 6 of them for 25 cents. I wasn't good at math. So you could actually get no free ones, and they were all cheaper by the way. You could buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and they were cheaper. It was the same merchandise. Exactly, they had exactly the same thing as I did. Same package, same company, same distributor. It's all exactly the same. Fireworks is pretty much now down to 1 or 2 companies that do it all in China. It all comes. They put different names on it. We'll talk about that later in the marketing chapter. Okay, so we need to make people aware of that somehow or other, so that they don't get fooled into buying something that they don't need, don't want, or pay too much for. Anyway, that's why I was like. So let's see what's in the slides. Maybe not. Maybe there. You're supposed to read the blue stuff while I'm pausing. So marketing is a process that gets you to buy stuff, makes you aware of stuff, makes it sound so exciting that you just have to buy it, and ideally you buy something you don't want, or you didn't know you wanted until you saw the advertising. It's not designed to deliver value to customers, it's designed to deliver products to the customers and make them pay for it. That's what marketing is all about, getting people to buy stuff. Mandy's customer, we'll talk about customer relationships later on, because we're still talking about making a profit here. And I guess nobody thought it was fun. Six different kinds of utilities, or 5 different kinds of utilities. How many different are there? I think you got a homework assignment on this. What chapter is this? 11? Anybody remember if there's a homework on? Used to do a homework paper on this one. I don't know if I still do. The form is the shape of things. You don't really care about the shape of things unless there's something about them. How about, do you want to buy clothes that don't fit, or would you rather buy clothes that fit? So you're looking for the right form from a guy. Time. When do you want your merchandise?
Now.
Say it a little louder. Somebody back there said now.
Now.
You want it now? It was you, okay. Now, right? How many of you want it next week? A month from now? 6 years from now? You want it now, don't you? Amazon will deliver it to you now, 7 days a week. You go on Amazon, you type in an order, you go out to the post office, or go out to your front door and get it off the porch, it's already there. I'm not even a Prime member, and I get stuff in 1 day from Amazon. Amazon Prime people expect that. I don't know, I just take what I get. Where do you want it? You want to carry them? Or see if somebody else can guess? You want it here, don't you? Or at home, wherever you're at. You don't want it, you don't want it delivered to the college when you're at home, do you? If you're at the college and you could get it delivered here, would you want it here? You want it wherever you're at. That's where you want it. I was in, what city? I can't remember what city I was in. So I was out of credit card slips back in the old paper credit card slip day, and my bank could get it to me, but it was going to take a week. I want it now. I gave them the address for the hotel. Send it to the hotel. Send it overnight mail. I want it now. It was really a challenge to do that, but I got it done. Ownership. Do you want to, well, that's a bad example. Do you want to rent that tube of toothpaste? You'd rather own it, wouldn't you? Okay, and that's what we're talking about down there. Anybody buy a car lately? How fast was it?
I mean, I got it for like over 120.
No, not how fast was the car, how fast did you get the car?
Oh, like that.
Good one. All day? 2 hours?
No, it was about an hour and a half.
Hour and a half?
Yeah.
All the paperwork was done?
Yeah.
Paid the money, drove it off the lot?
Yeah.
That's pretty good, hour and a half. Did you have your tags?
Yes.
License plates?
Yep.
You did?
Yeah, they got it for me.
Yeah, most of the dealers have some temporaries.
Yeah, that's what I got, and then I think it was like a week whenever I got my
Permanent.
ones, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, would you rather have your permanent ones now instead of waiting a week?
Yeah.
You got a paper tag out there and it rains all week and things washed off, police stop you, you don't have a tag here. Well, that's a new car, officer. If you got your receipt, he'll probably buy into that. If it looks like a new car, you can get away with that. It's not a big deal these days, but. What's that news story? It's not there. I've been watching the news enough lately. Got too many things to do. Got a museum to build. Okay, so those are different types of utility that's available to you, and if you want to be a good business person, these are the things you want to satisfy. This is what your customers want. What can you give them? Maybe you can give them the best size ever, but you can't get it there quickly. There's a lot of merchandise that you can't get now, so you try to get it there as fast as you can. There's things that have to be built. The museum is buying a sculpture now of a dog and a dog handler from the Vietnam era, and it's going to take a year to get it. Good news is it only costs $50,000, so it gives us a year to raise the money. All right, utility. Types of marketing, poor and not so poor. Market to the people. If you're, we do studies to find out what kind of people like our products, and we market to those people. Now, I got to tell you the story about the last presidential election, was it? Yeah, last presidential election, and social media. We knew it was coming. Those of us in the computer game figured all this out a long time ago. We knew it was coming, but the marketing people have taken over social media. Actually, they hire social media to do their bidding. they have the capability now of mailing an advertisement to you that's something that you didn't know you wanted to buy, and you'll buy it because the advertising is so great. What they learned during the presidential election, or before, quickly before, they learned that different people like a different picture. So some of you may see a yellow flyer and just throw it away because you hate yellow. Other people love yellow, and there's a yellow flyer laying there, and they're thinking, oh, look at this. And they're likely to buy whatever that thing is because the color and the picture and the words were things that they liked. So using public media, they could send out millions of these things in different colors to different people and see what happened. And they found out that they sent a red one to you and you didn't buy it, and they sent a red one to you and you did, and they put that in their little notebook. So every time they sent you something, they sent you the right color. They put different pictures on it, found out what pictures people like. And they fine-tuned that social media to the point that they could pretty well guarantee that you were going to read the flyer. Cool? Cool for them, not so cool for us, because now they have figured out a way to manipulate us into doing what they want. And if you're not educated enough to understand what they're doing to you, then you're being manipulated, and it's not good. Not a good thing. Way back in the I'll say 60s, it might have been the 50s, but they came up with a thing they could put on a movie screen, and they flashed it on the movie screen so fast that you didn't see it, but your brain did.
Subliminal advertising, what do you call it?
Subliminal advertising, yes. It's still around. It was made illegal in this country after the government found out what was going on, because they could make you do things you didn't want to do. They flashed up a picture of popcorn, the next thing you know, there was a line at the popcorn stand. People just, their brain said popcorn, and they went to get some popcorn. They've made some movies with that where it flashes up to kill somebody and people go kill them. That's not good. I guess it's good advertising. It's good marketing if you get people to do what you want to do, but it's not good. It's not ethical. As a matter of fact, it should be illegal here in the United States. They have changed those laws. Place, lots of marketing going on in the football stadium, the baseball stadium, ice hockey rink. You got advertisement all around. You got advertising at the high school football field. Yeah, I haven't checked down here. So what would you advertise at the football field? What would you advertise? That's a hard question. You would advertise things that football fans like. And you would sell a bunch of them. Because they sat there during the entire game looking at that advertisement. They say, you know, I don't think I'll get one of those hats. See that cool hat they had for sale? Events, that's the same kind of a thing. And ideas. Change how people think and act through marketing. Now, here's a fun thing for me. Back in 1920, they called it production focus. And back in 1920, there wasn't a whole lot of stuff going on. We were making stuff. It was just getting started. What we did was we focused on making products, and then somehow or other we got them to the customers. I'm going to skip ahead just a little bit in here because I want to get up, this thing starts a little bit early on selling focus. What I want to do is get up to Second World War. During the Second World War, there were no products. Every factory in the United States was turned over to making war materials. Singer Sewing Machine Company made rifles during the Second World War. You couldn't buy a Singer Sewing Machine during the Second World War. They were making rifles. Every company that made vehicles was making tanks and trucks for the military. They made more airplanes in Dallas during the Second World War than the entire country made.
Because they changed a lot of factories to, manufacturing military. Right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a piece of cake. It's got an assembly line, you just change out the parts, you get a tank instead of a truck. And the government and people in charge of all that talked to those industrial people and said, this is what we need, can you do it? That rings a bell, does it not? How did we get these masks? Anybody remember? How many masks were for sale a year ago? What is this? How many masks were for sale in January of 19? Anybody buy one in January 19? Anybody remember seeing one in January 19?
Medical.
Medical people saw them, medical people had them, medical people used them and bought them, and all that kind of stuff. And now, how many masks are there? Every big company I've ever heard of that has the capability is selling masks. I went down to Walmart months ago, and there was a barrel full of masked military things on them. And there was a cracker company selling their masks. The National Vietnam War Museum has two kinds of masks for sale. One we're going to give away at our fundraiser if we ever get to have it. But we sell, I don't know, and I haven't worn it to class, I lost it, but we sell a mask with our logo on it, the National Vietnam War Museum. Matter of fact, our mask that we sell is better than this one that Calvin sells. Everybody sells masks now. How about sanitizer? How many bottles like this did we have in our classroom last year? Okay, World War II. Got distracted already. After World War II, everybody wanted stuff. We needed refrigerators. They broke down during the war. Refrigerators had been developed that you could plug into electricity and they would keep things cold. Before that, there were ice boxes. Looked like a refrigerator, had no electricity. You put a big chunk of ice in there, stored your food, closed the door, stored your food that way. Ice boxes. Refrigerators. Cars, again, couldn't get cars, motorcycles, everything you can imagine. Now those companies were shifted back into making soda machines. They all changed back to making what they used to make. And the people who had been doing without meat on Tuesday, and the people who had done without this and done without that, wanted stuff. They spent something like 4 years or longer doing without stuff, and they wanted it back now. And we're going to be the same way as soon as we clean up this little virus problem. We're going to be the same way. We're going to be out buying stuff we couldn't get. That's the selling thing. People, a salesperson right here at the end of World War II was a person that sat at a desk with a phone and a pad to write on. The phone rang. Yes, sir, how many do you want? Okay, I got you down. Hung up the phone. Yes, ma'am, what we can do for you? You want 3? Okay. That was a salesperson. Answer the phone, write down how many they want, get their address and send it to them. That was a good job. It was inside, it was heating and air conditioning and all those kind of things, and all you had to do was answer the phone, write down names and addresses and how many they wanted, and they paid for it when they got it. That ended around the 60s somewhere, and that's when the marketing people came along. How many washing machines do you need? 5? 1? One's enough? What happens if everybody bought one? How do you sell them? That's really hard, isn't it? Everybody has one. You're on the phone all day long calling people. We did a little door-to-door thing along the way, but the door-to-door thing was knocking on doors. You want one of these? Knock on doors. You want one of these? No, that started that way. And then it was people on the phone calling people, getting phone numbers and calling people and trying to sell them stuff they didn't need. Now refrigerators, you need 2 or 3 of those, right? How many people have 2 or more? Nobody? Yeah, there's one. And me. We're talking about a 3rd one. We invented the drink refrigerator. We have a big family over Thanksgiving. They all want something different to drink. It's in the drink refrigerator. I don't have to go get it for them. You know where the drink refrigerator is, right? Go get what you want. You know what people want, you stock that thing up. And if you entertain, that's an easy thing to do. You don't have to find out. Go fetch it. You can just have fun yourself and tell people, hey, the drink refrigerator's on the back porch. Go help yourself. So we got 2. Marketing now has to take that job and make you buy something that you don't want or need. And that's where the marketing people came in, and they got really good at it and really strong at it. And some people have figured it out. I don't know what the percentage is, but I'm convinced that some people have. I've taught several thousand people this. Hopefully one or two of those picked up on it and changed their attitudes towards marketing. And I'm a bad example because I know exactly what I want. I kind of know what I'm willing to spend for it, and if it's too much, I just do without. I'm going to retire next year. I'm going to do without some other stuff. I'll be living on reduced income. I won't buy a lot of stuff that I buy now because I don't want to waste the money. Marketing. And now we're here now for relationships. What we need to do, and back in here, you just got everybody to be one of your customers. You just swept the planet with, you sat behind there answering the phone, answer phone, answer phone. You went out and found people. And now it's getting a little bit tougher, and people are getting wiser, and people are doing without stuff. And now you got to be nice to your customers, or they're not coming back. Customer service is the number one thing that you need to provide if you're going to stay in business. You've got to get those people to come back. If you're selling refrigerators, most people don't buy 6 of them. So you got to get more and more people coming in. But when the refrigerator breaks, like, well, our deep freeze broke a couple of weeks ago, you couldn't get a deep freeze. My wife went to every store in Weatherford, and Lowe's said they could get one in 6 months. Home Depot said they'd had no clue when they could get one. Best Buy said they could get one, and they got one for us in 3 weeks, and it broke the day they installed it. So I don't remember whether she went to Lowe's or Home Depot, but went out, got on the list. They were coming out. They're coming from China. China's all backlogged. Everybody's trying to get stuff. The COVID thing is running rampant. No, they're not getting stuff produced. They're not getting stuff shipped. If the transportation ship has a COVID problem, the ship doesn't move. If the ship doesn't move, tens of thousands of products don't get to market. It is a nightmare out there. And it's not getting better easily. We got to get past this virus problem. Relationships. So you need to build relationships with your customers. Do a good job. I did it with my fireworks stand. One of the reasons that I made more money every year is because all my old customers came back, and all the people that heard from my old customers I got referred. They said, "I heard you did a pretty good job here." Yep, I think I do. And I just kept building my customer base up, and I couldn't help it make more money. Repeat business, that's what we're after. How many people buy a car every year? Anybody in here buy a car every year? So how does that car salesman make a living?
Maintaining customers.
Well, repeat business is a stretch, but he's got to have a lot of people buying cars from him, doesn't he? Or she? They got women selling cars too.
Upselling.
So you got to sell a lot of people, and then some people that do buy a car every 5 years, say, you want them to come back. You don't want them going to the other guy, do you? So you got to be extra nice to those people. I bought a pickup truck for my wife. She bought a pickup truck. I was just there. She has access to the checkbook too. We walked in and they gave us a salesperson that belongs to us. And every time we call the dealer, we ask for Bill or Joe or whatever his name is, I already forgot him. We ask for him and he takes care of us. We needed to have some repairs done on another car, and I called him and told him and he gave me a mechanic. He said, "I recommend John." Okay, I'll ask for John. John was the best mechanic. Now, I didn't see the mechanics. What I saw was he met me at the door, he took my car, he called me when it was ready, he had the keys in his hand when I came to pick it up. His service was exquisite. So now when I take my car in, I just ask for the guy. Why is that good for them? The mechanic? What does he get paid for? What?
Commission.
No, they get paid hourly usually on the mechanical end. But what if there's no cars to fix? He's a car mechanic, there's no cars to fix. What's he do? He doesn't get paid. I don't know how many car dealers pay a salary, but my son-in-law was a car auto mechanic for just about every automobile dealer in town. And he got paid if he worked on cars. If he didn't work on a car at all, he didn't get paid. Not a good deal, is it? How about beauty shop? Cosmetologist? They get paid for standing there? You think? No. They gotta cut some hair, they gotta do some perms, they gotta give color. They're good at marketing too. Ladies, do you go to the same hairdresser all the time or not? No? Oh my gosh. No? Yes? 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 About 50-50. That's amazing. Did I hit you? Okay. I'll have to tell my wife. She's a cosmetologist. I get free haircuts. I found a secret way in. She's the one that made me stop chewing my fingernails. I chewed my fingernails till I was 45 years old. 45? Yeah. She went to school after I retired to become a cosmetologist, and I was her guinea pig for nails and hair and all of those things. I went to her state test in Austin, had my fingernails painted pink. It was a beautiful color. It looks good on me, by the way. Someday I should get her to dress me up so you can see. Marketing. Relationships. Make relationships and keep them. I think I probably covered all this, but just in case. That's what I was ranting about here. Customers buy a product from the same person over and over and over again. You do good business with them. You do good, people come back. It's pretty risky to go try to find somebody new when you're getting a good deal. Customer satisfaction, that's what you get out of it, and it's an ongoing process. You got to keep doing it. Now we'll get up to the big corporation. You're the marketing director. You need a marketing plan for the company, and you need to come up with what we're going to advertise, how we're going to advertise, which things we're going to do, and who we're going to do them to. That's market segmentation, the last one up there. We try to find the people that want our stuff. Thanks to social media, we can send stuff to the people who want it. We can send the right stuff to the people that want it. You don't have to send it to everybody. Social media can determine who should get it, and they'll send it. You tell them who to send it to, what kinds of people to send it to, they'll send it to those kinds of people and nobody else. So you save money and you hit the right customers. People are able to be manipulated by marketing. And you, educated people, have to get smarter and not do that. Not buy it just because somebody said so. One of my favorite slides again. Got a picture, got a circle. This is who you want to sell to. What tools should you use to do that? All of them. Every one of these things points into the target. Technology, economics, pricing strategy. We're going to sell. Oh, did you hear that they got an electric Hummer?
The EV,
Huh?
the Hummer EV.
Yeah. Electric. No way, I'm not buying it. You think?
1,000 horses.
You think it'll do Hummer things with electricity?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll use you as an expert then.
Yeah.
I got to talk to my son-in-law, he knows. Not buying an electric Hummer. That's like the electric truck that Tesla came up
Oh,
with.
that's so stupid.
Okay. All right, picture. Read that thing in 3 seconds. So, you don't sell motorcycles to 90-year-old people. Well, you shouldn't, because even if they decide to buy it, they're liable to kill themselves. You'd be responsible for providing a motorcycle. These are some of the things you want to think about. Who's going to buy your stuff? And it depends on what you're selling, how much it costs, and how much competition is out there, how that's going to work for you. Figure out who needs it or wants it or should want it, and go after that group. Don't waste your money going after people that don't want it. Where do they live? Do you need to sell snowshoes to people in Florida? Well, maybe somebody will go on vacation to Alaska someday, but no, you need to sell snowshoes up in the Northwest and the North and the Northeast where they have snow. You don't find any snow sleds for sale in Weatherford. At least I haven't been looking lately, but I don't think, pretty sure Walmart doesn't carry any. Do they sell snow sleds at Walmart in New York? You think? Chicago? Oregon? Yeah, they do. We go to some of those different Walmart. When I travel, we always stop at a Walmart. That's our big thing. We buy Walmart gas now, and we always go looking for a Walmart when we're on the road. Geographic, I think Scott's not talking about that. You don't sell snow to Eskimos. Psychology, behavioral attitudes, what do people like to do, how do they do it, where do they do it? Many, many years ago, I lived in the Grayford area before I started working here. And when I started working here, I was leave Grayford and I'd hit the road, and I'd usually run out needing gas because I hadn't been on to a gas station all weekend. I needed gas. And I stopped at the first gas station on the west side of Mineral Wells, filled up my tank, came to school. Did that every Monday for a long time. I used a credit card to pay for the gas. What did the credit card company know about me? Anybody got a credit card or a debit card? Same thing. What does that company know about you?
Where you spending your money?
Where you spend your money? Do they know your age? Do they know your income? Do they know where you live? They know your phone number, social security number. They know everything there is to know about you. How long would it have taken the credit card company to figure out that I was going to be at that gas station Monday morning at 8:30?
Routine.
Hey, this guy goes to this gas station every Monday at 8:30. They could send out a hitman to kill me next month. If they knew what you liked, they could be there to sell you something. That's another story here. In ancient times, we did this with paper, magazines, sales catalogs. And well, it was me. When I got out of the Army, I changed my name. They called me Mr. for most of my career in the Army. I got tired of that, so I just went by Jim for the rest of the time. And I was ordering stuff through various places, and I was getting these catalogs in the mail. And one day I ordered something that didn't use my full name, and I got 2 catalogs from that company, one to Jim Messinger and one to Jay Messinger. And then I thought that was pretty cool, so I started mixing it up. I put down James, I put down Jim, I put down, all the names I could think of that applied to me. And I was getting 3, 4, 5 catalogs from the same company. And they're made out of paper, and we got a fireplace, and it burns. I made my firewood out of catalogs for several years. Free firewood. When we moved up to Grayford, I got off the mailing list because I changed addresses and they didn't keep up with me. But we were doing things up there that were kind of unusual. And I got a catalog from a pet food company. And I think it was limited to cats, as I recall. And I thought, are they sending me a catalog? I don't have any cats. And oh, we had feral cats up there on the river. And we were feeding cat food to the cats, the foxes, the possums, and whoever wanted it. We just put out a bunch of cat food. We attracted all these animals. I think the deer got some of it sometimes too. But this company knew I was buying cat food from the grocery store with my credit card. They started sending me a catalog of cat products. And that was before the internet. Behavioral. You got a routine, they're going to find it. Now your textbook makes a big deal. It's an older textbook, and I'm okay with the older textbook thing, but they make a big deal about the B2B. B2C is business selling to people, just regular people. B2B is selling to businesses, and it's exactly the same. This was part of my doctorate, by the way. B2B thing before it even existed. They're just a customer. It doesn't matter whether you sell to a business or a person, you're selling to a customer. Treat them exactly the same way. Maybe treat these people better if possible. Give them a little discount if they buy in quantity. But it's the same thing. It's just a customer. And I don't know why we have to make a big deal about it. And we probably could quit doing that now that everybody knows about the internet and nobody cares. Don't treat customers differently. Treat them all really, really good. Now, remember the cultural thing? If you're in business and you're selling to the public, you're going to get some people with different cultures than you, buying stuff from you. Let it go. If you can't let it go, hire somebody to do the job and go away. You got to try to treat everybody good and everybody equal. No discrimination based on anything. Customer with money, you want it. Now that's not in the book. The book doesn't talk about that stuff. That's why I'm here. How can we break them down? We talked about geographic already. Where do they live? What kind of products they use? Let's see. A guy has a boat. Would you want to try to sell him a fishing pole? Make sense? Guy doesn't have a boat, doesn't have a car, doesn't live anywhere near water. Would you want to sell him a boat? I wouldn't try. Now, I sold boats for a couple of years. One of the many things I did when I got out of the Army. My vending machine business, I put a vending machine in the boat dealership in Temple, Texas. I was really good. His daughter and my daughter went to school together, it turns out, the owner's daughter. And we made friends with each other. I put a vending machine in there. And his biggest complaint every time I'd come in and fill the machine and chat with him, he needed more help. And what he needed was just ordinary people to go meet the customers when they come in. They get 5 or 6 customers on the lot at one time, and they had him and a salesman, 2 people to handle them. He just wanted somebody that could meet people, talk to the people, show them around a little bit, ask them questions, and then when it came time to do the hard selling, you turn them loose on the professional salesperson, those 2 people. Well, I wasn't doing anything all the time, and I said, when would you want somebody? I think he wanted 2 or 3 days a week when he really had crowds. He wanted somebody to come in and do that. I don't know anything about boats, but if you know me, do you think I could do what you need done? He said, well, you're a guy, you can do it. And you can learn something about boats if you want. And unfortunately, I was getting paid commission, so basically I was working for free, and he was getting a lot of work out of it. I don't remember what the hours were. I got my own business card. That was pretty cool. Boat sales. And one day he needed to go to, he wanted to do a special sale at Fort Hood, Texas, and I was given the job of going over there. They took a boat on a trailer over there and parked it someplace, and I sat in that boat all day. I sold the boat and I earned my commission, and it was a nice commission. It was way more than a day's pay. Pretty expensive boat. Not a real expensive boat, but a fishing boat. Those guys, those Army guys, they flocked around me. They were in there all the time talking to me about that boat. By the time I was done, I knew something about the boat, and I sold one, and I got a commission. You want to get rich? I'll tell you 2 ways to get rich while we're on that subject. First of all, a commission is the way to get paid if you want to make a lot of money. That means that you get paid more if you work harder. That's what a commission means. You get paid when you sell something. The more you sell, the more you make. So, start working 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, get paid commission, have something to sell that people want, and get out there and find those people, and you'll make lots of money. I did door-to-door sales for a couple of years in Temple. I worked for the largest, it was specialty advertising. Specialty advertising is anything that can be sold with somebody's name on it. I can put your name on this and you can sell them and make lots of money. Specialty advertising. I did it with the biggest, I was a salesperson for the largest specialty advertising company in the United States of America. When I called on a customer, my simple presentation was, I can put your name on anything you want. You pick a product, I'll put your name on it. You can increase your marketing, increase your sales, you can do better. And just about the time I was breaking into the money, we moved. That was another one of those things I was doing just for the fun of it. But the money was there. If we just stayed put and I'd kept the job, in a couple of years I'd been making a lot more money than I'm making here. Money is not my motivator. Fun. Remember, fun? Fun is my motivator. I want to have a good time. Moving right along. I'm having too much fun here. I can see this taking too long. Uh-oh. We got trouble. Okay, here's a homework assignment. Take home assignment for next class period. Page 201, make a note. I'm going to grade you based on the fact that you participated next week. If you didn't participate, you're not going to get a grade. If you participate, you get a grade. What? And by the way, you remember the reading test where everybody raised their hand? This is one of those things. You're going to raise your hand. You're going to tell me, you're going to give me an answer. What makes you buy? Now, if you don't like any of your textbooks categories, tell me what makes you buy that's not on the list. You can make this list longer because you don't use these things to buy products. But you look at the list, you decide which ones make you buy, and be prepared to talk next Thursday about what makes you buy. Because I want to know. Oops, page 203, I don't think it's in there anymore. Let's see. Oh, yeah. You might make a note of page 203 while you're at it. The oops thing, we did one a long time ago, and I haven't seen one on the PowerPoint lately, so this is just for fun, but these people, I'll read you a couple of them. These people are top corporations in the United States and sometimes around the world, and their marketing people are as good as you can hire. These people make six-figure salaries at least, maybe more. So, this is Abercrombie and Fitch. I think they're based in New York. The people were complaining because the company didn't sell any large clothes, so the company expanded their line to include larger sizes. And the people asked why they didn't have more, and he said, this is the CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch. They declared a, let's see, where did, apparently the CEO said he didn't want his core customers to see people who aren't as hot as them wearing his clothing. Ladies. In 2013, they had a dress for sale that was called Dark Heather Gray, except for the plus size version, which was described as Manatee Gray. What do you think? Repeat business? Let's see what the other one was. That's enough. Yeah. If that doesn't make you go to the page, then it's not worth the effort. I don't have to make a sale about that. Oh, and here comes the highlight of the day. So, I run the gift shop for the National Vietnam War Museum. Oh, I had the other picture in there. Oh, no. And a new group of t-shirt manufacturers came by the museum. They were Navy SEALs. The 2 Navy SEAls running this company selling t-shirts and stuff. You don't know, do you?
Is it forged clothing or no?
They what?
Is it forged? Or
No. They make it themselves. They got their own company to make the stuff, and then they sell it. They were specializing in military installations or military things because they're military and they know that if you're military and a Navy SEAL comes to sell you something, you'll probably buy it. So it was good thinking on their part. And they sent me this picture of a t-shirt they wanted to sell me, and I liked the t-shirt. This is a little darker color than what it was, but this is close enough for today. So what do you think? Pretty cool? And I said, okay, and I actually bought 2 different t-shirts from them that they designed specifically for the museum. Now these are, nobody else carries them. You know, it says museum on there someplace, on the back, I guess. No, it's on the sleeve, which we hadn't done before at the gift shop. That was pretty cool too. So I call the 2 of them. One of them's a good seal, one of them's a bad seal. This is the shirt that I got. Is it that shirt?
It's too dark, you can't see, you can't read it. You have to get up close to see it.
In the right light, it looks like that. But this is the color that I had ordered. This is the color I got. And I wrote them a nice letter saying I'm not accepting these shirts. I'm going to send these back because they're not that. And so far, every class I've shown them to agrees with me. They're not that. Unfortunately, the guy I got in touch with was the bad seal. And the bad seal says, we're not taking them back. You pay for them, you keep them. I didn't have to pay in advance, by the way. So, but you pay for them, you keep them, you sell them. And we traded emails for 3 or 4 different times, and by the time we both sent our last email, we were in 3rd grade fighting out on the playground, calling each other names, and just both of us went berserk at the same time. Anyway, he said, don't send them back. So a couple of days went by, and the good seal called me. And the good seal says, you guys got something going here. He says, is there anything I can do to help solve this dilemma? And there you go, customer service. Called me up, not exactly an apology, but an understanding that the 2 of us were so far apart on the deal that nothing was going to be done. And he said, I said, that's fine, I want to talk to you too. And I said, it's great, let's get together. We settled, kind of calmed everybody down. And he suggested, how about if you keep those on consignment and pay us when you sell them? And I said, I don't like consignments, but I think that's a good offer. I will do that. I will keep them and sell them. And if you'll send me an invoice, he said, you tell us when you sold them, we'll send you an invoice. Sound good? Everybody's happy? A year later, now I had bought 2 different t-shirts. A year later, the other t-shirt sold out, every one of them. I sold 6 of those. I ordered 144. I sold 6 of them in a year. The other one I ordered 144, sold them all. I wrote them a note and told them what my inventory was and said, okay, I've sold all of these. And they billed me for those. And I said, you know, you sure you don't want them back? So they sent me an invoice for the 6 that I sold. And I still got them. And by the way, if anybody wants one of those, come out to the museum. They're $20. My son-in-law bought 2 or 3 of them. He loves that material. Ought to pass that around. I'm not doing a very good selling job here. Oh, we can't pass it around. Everybody touching it, sorry. Anyway, let's go on to the next slide. I don't know if that's a t-shirt. A year went by, another year went by, and I had sold most of the shirts. Matter of fact, it was last year. I contacted them and said, okay, look, I've sold most of the shirts. I want to go ahead and pay for all of them and, you know, let it go. Never heard from the guy. I guess I got 3 shirts. The good seal left the company, and the bad seal wouldn't talk to me. Any question about Navy SEALs?
What were their names?
Do what?
What were their names?
Oh, I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
I might be able to figure it out someday, but I'm not gonna advertise for or against them. I'm pretty sure they're technically out of business now. Like I say, the good seal left, and he was the only one that knew anything about business. The bad seal was all about strong-arming people into buying the merchandise regardless. It couldn't last. Okay, marketing research. Got a story for that. How do we know what people want? We go out and meet people and talk to them about what they want, how to get it. This one down here is my favorite kind, and this is one of those marketing things that I've been involved in a lot. I went down to Home Depot one day, and there was this nice young woman, looked like might have been one of my students, and she came over to me and she said, have you got a minute? I said, sure. She said, I need to take this survey, and I'm paid based on how many surveys I complete. I'm a sucker. I already knew where we were going with this. It was a company that sells water purification systems. The first question was, do you own your home? Yes. Do you have a water well? Yes. There we go. We're talking about water purification systems. I've been through that. I've lived out on the land for many years. I knew all about that particular sales pitch. A nice young woman, like could have been one of my students. So I finished up her survey, and I'm pretty sure at the end of it, it was, can I have somebody call you to make an appointment? I said, no, not interested, so let it go. She got her survey complete, so technically she got paid for her survey. We went on with our business. But find out something about these people that you're trying to sell to, and then weed out the ones that you don't want to sell to and collect those that you do. So they had my name, address, phone number, and they knew that I had a water well, and I had said no. And they were one of those nice people that just never bothered me. So I get a phone call periodically that I really enjoy now. It's a car warranty. I heard some chuckles back there. Car warranty extension. You get those calls? Yeah.
And we've been trying to reach you concerning your car's extended warranty.
It was like 3 more.
Yeah. We got a new one this year. We got one that said our home warranty was about to expire. We had it built ourselves. We know the contractor that built it. We were, we were living next door while it was being built. Anyway, they started, it may be working now, but a few years ago, they called me and said, this is the last call you're ever gonna get. And I said, great, thank you very much.
And then they call you again 2 months later.
Yeah, they called me again. I don't know if it was the same company, there must be dozens of them doing it. It's a phone bank, and I actually worked a phone bank once in Oklahoma. You get a room about this size, you fill it with chairs and telephones and people behind every phone, and you give them a list of names and phone numbers, and you sit there and you call people as fast as you can trying to sell stuff.
But they're coming, they're changing, like my numbers are coming in as numbers from my contacts. Like they're using numbers that are numbers from my contacts, which is weird.
They can use any number that a computer can create. I expect to see somebody calling from my number someday, because I know it's possible, I know they do it, I just don't understand the system that allows them to go use any phone number they can make up. Doesn't make sense to me. Yeah. But yeah, the next 3 or 4 weeks later, I get that call about, and I told the young woman as nice as I could, no, I said, you told me a month ago that was my last call. Oh, no, I don't want it. And I hope this really is my last call. It's not. Phone bank. Okay, surveys. Stand in the store and see what people buy. That's another way you can do that. Let's see anything significant up here. Secondary data is a little bit cheaper to get, a little bit easier to get. Primary is a little bit better, costs a little bit more. Anything surprising on that slide? I'd like to put it up there in case somebody's reading. Social responsibility. Oh my gosh, the chicken thing. Forgot about that. Like it's been forever since I got to this slide. I wrote down the link. It was on television for a long time, this chicken advertisement, and what they said was, our chickens were raised without antibiotics. And apparently they were killing this other company. The other company advertised no antibiotics ever. Now, are those the same chickens? No. These people, this chicken never got antibiotics anytime in its life. This chicken was raised without. What about after he was raised? Did they give him some antibiotics after he was raised? She was raised, I don't know, chickens are both sexes, I think. Doesn't mean they never got antibiotics. Just means we raised them without antibiotics. This person over here said no antibiotics ever in their chickens. Now, another thing, any chicken people in here? Anybody, chicken expert?
Pheasants.
Pheasants? Close enough. They, doesn't the federal government require some antibiotics be administered? So if they were supposed to give them some antibiotics to prevent diseases, then it would be bad that they never got any. Right? So you need to study your chickens. Study your chickens before you eat them. That's it. Wrap around. Okay, first thing we'll do is close that flap.